Hey there, Changemakers. Welcome and welcome back. If you don't know me or are new here, welcome. My name is Kyra Siva. I am a spiritual healer and mentor, and today we are going to go and dive into what psychic skill should you be focusing on. I am super excited to jump into this pile. And before we get started, if you ever are interested in getting a personal reading, I will never reach out to you, and you are always welcome to reach out to me. Link is in the description, and I'm building a nice little cozy spiritual community for you to explore your true depth of your soul and also how you can implement that as a change maker into the world. You can find me over on Patreon. I'm doing a super soft launch, but I have started getting content up on there, so come check that out and join me for my first live Q&A. I think I'm just going to leave it free and available for everybody to join. You can find more information over on my Patreon, link in the description, and let's go ahead, my beautiful psychically amazing beings. Take a deep breath in. Connect with your heart, connect with your intuition, connect with your spirit guides, and go ahead and choose pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3, and we will get started with pile number 1. Pile number 1. All right, let's dive in. Now, as I was turning over your cards, these two strong full moons that are identical really stood out. You, pile number 1, need to be focusing on psychic skills that are, I call, in the shadows. That's the subconscious way, the silence, the dark, the night. And darkness doesn't mean negativity. The darkness means closing your eyes and leaning back and releasing into the nothingness of life where all potentiality exists. Pile number 1, you have been focusing a little too much, a little too expanded on too many, trying to develop yourself in too many areas. So your invitation from spirit and your soul and your guides is really to lean back into first this point of nothingness, which looks like sitting down and having a still body, leaning back into a quiet meditation where you connect to the silence and the nothingness. We call it trance meditation, truly. If you're not the kind of person where you're like, Kyra, there's no way I'm going to be sitting down for more than 5 minutes, then here's what I would encourage you to do instead. Because meet yourself where you're at. This is an invitation from spirit to start to listen to, tune into the silence between words, the silence between thoughts, the silence between actions. You are looking for that pinpoint of nothingness to really ground a part of your consciousness into, which looks like putting your awareness on it again and again and again and again and again. You really want to focus on it and make it a habit. And here is why. Your psychic gift that is opening up for you, that will be in tandem as you lean into the nothingness, is your ability to understand the play of karma around you, the play of action and reaction. When I first was looking at these cards, it very much reminded me of, you are an astrologer, you work in divination, you work in psychic development, you are at a stage in your soul's evolution where you will have these breakthrough moments of clarity of, oh, I see how that works. Like, oh, I see this person is presenting with XYZ, and I can tell that it's tied to this. Your ability to grasp the picture, the threads, what they're showing me is like a tapestry, right? So you go back into the nothingness and your consciousness gets grounded there. That opens you up to see from a perspective shift that you are going to have a harder time if you just stay in a very human, I'm just this character in the body focus. As you dissolve into the nothingness and allow what exists to show itself to you, you will have breakthrough moments of clarity, of understanding how that kind of creation works and how you can connect the dots. So it's like you are weaving the tapestry, you're looking at the tapestry, you're looking at how all the threads are going in, you're looking at how the embroidery is made, and then you can see, hey, this string that's all the way down here is really tied up to the top. And that's the message that really made me feel like you're an astrologer, like you're about to deepen your astrological skills, because when you look at that birth chart, when you look at the map of the skies, there is a natural, like putting the pieces of the puzzle together, right? You are looking at that whole person as their soul's evolution through this human life. You are understanding that in a much deeper way. A lot of this is something that you have complete control over. So if you're like, Kyra, I'm not an astrologer, I don't necessarily do these things, how does this make sense for me? This is your call to say, stepping into that silence will allow you the perspective shift needed to understand how deeper spiritual concepts actually work. And those deeper understandings will be moments of clarity, will be energetic. It's like your whole body understands the whole concept. The times that I've had this happen would be akin to having, it's like an energy packet of information is just like plopped into your body, and in a split second, a few seconds, you get the words, you get the visualization, and you get the whole complete packet of the energy of the whole experience. So instead of experiencing something over a period of time, you are experiencing the entirety of that in a fraction of a second, in a few seconds, in 30 seconds. You're able to just click in, and you can feel it in your body. It's a knowingness. If this has happened to you, I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Leave me a comment below. Like, give me a high five down there, because you have this capability. We all have this capability. And I know if you're in this pile, either it's on its way to you to be receiving information like that, or it has already happened to you multiple times. Down here we see in these attribute cards of the psychic skills is this incredible inward focus of understanding the emotional components. And I would say, I know I'm talking a lot about karma, but karma often has a lot of emotional tethers to it, has a lot of emotional orchestration to those events. So it's really having this call of this deep inward focus. You are my shadow group. You are the group that is understanding things that live underneath the life and the existence and the stories and the threads that tie people together. That is your level of understanding. That's who you are able to, like, you're that person in the world walking around going like, yeah, I tether together the subconscious beliefs of people. I understand what the inner workings of the psyche. I understand the subtleties, the nuances, the quiet whispers, right? My intuition group, the healer group, you are activating on a more nuanced level, which actually requires a significant amount of development for your nervous system and your consciousness. So that's cool. You're a cool group. They also want to let you know that you need to have confidence in doing this, but confidence is found through setting up effective feedback loops. And this is what I mean. As I do tarot, I understand certain messages coming in. And then when I share those messages, typically when I do tarot, I'm going in blind. I have one question. I've had people just give me short sentences. I know nothing about them. I do not know them. And they ask me to read for them. And I actually prefer it that way. So when I share what I am experiencing and seeing with the cards and what their guides are telling me, or often their angels, they will start filling in the details. And that feedback loop of going, that sharing this message in that way was very effective because it was close to what their actual experience is, or it wasn't close to their actual experience. And now I understand that that when I feel this energy, it can mean that this is going on in this person's life. And it helps me interpret and conceptualize the experiences that I'm going through as a reader. That is what I mean by feedback loops. You have to be able to test out your psychic skills. So for example, if you're an astrologer, you go through you put your reading together for the person, and then you go through little bit by little bit, and you are asking for feedback if they want to along the way. And the whole point of that is just to build yourself an effective feedback loop so that you get honed in your skill of understanding, and you're in a prime time. You're in a really, really good time. Your psychic energy is open to this. Your consciousness is open to this. This is the next step in your evolution. So you need to be able to build that. That's how you get confidence. All right, we have this. I just had this message in the last reading I just did that I just filmed, which is incredible. So you've devoted and surrendered now. I was just saying, devotion is one of my top favorite feelings. I love getting into spaces of devotion. It is the golden sweet manuka honey of the world. It's so freaking good. And a key part of being able to do that is the surrender now. When you work with nuanced space, my dear shadow workers, and I know that you already do this because you don't get to be on this side of creation without understanding this, but you really do have to lean back into surrender. And that looks like practically you observing, and this is where that key comes into grounding your consciousness, anchoring your consciousness into silence and becoming an observer without judgment. What exists in front of you exists. So you have the material expression of that existence. And then as you sit with non-judgment, you're going to allow the rest of what's happening in creation to present itself to you. And when it presents itself to you, you take a note. Okay, XYZ. It doesn't matter the information that's coming. Your job in this psychic development is to simply observe and take a note. Simply observe, take a note. The surrender is not putting your own judgment and your own ego of what it means on top of that. And that is a point of growth right there. That tension right there, you will be confronting, right? Like I have thoughts, people have thought, like we all have that. So just know that that is a pocket of growth where in your consciousness, as you're doing this, your mind will say, oh, that looks like X. And you're like, I'm just going to take a note. There was a blip, and okay, what else is presenting itself? What else is presenting itself? And that is how you actually develop this skill. You are strongly on track with this. You are very, very strongly on track with this, and you can do this. So this is really, just use this message as a confirmation message and something to help you hone and understand what you are doing in that part of your psychic development. I wouldn't normally talk to people about this publicly because I think this is a more nuanced skill set, and I would probably be a little more inclined to be on one-on-one with this, but that's what your cards your cards say, and that your psychic development, like you are pulling this message out of me. Let me put it that way. You are pulling this message out of me. I wouldn't necessarily have a public message about this kind of development. I think it's very nuanced, and to me, it tells me that you are a more skilled practitioner and you are more developed in the way that you understand your relationship to life itself and to consciousness. Which is cool. Also, give me a high five below because we could be friends. It'd be great. Come join me over on Patreon. We could talk. It'll be amazing. I would love to chat with you more on there. I mean, I'm going to be doing some live some live groups where we can really discuss this stuff in more nuanced, and I will be doing the first one, I think, for free in February, so check me over on Patreon if you're interested in building more of a community and talking about this more in depth. Okay, pile number 1. Wow, just right out of the gate. Rock star energy right out of the gate. Amazing. I love you, Shadow Pile. I hope that this reading was meaningful and helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are interested in personal readings, just know I will never reach out to you, and you are always welcome to reach out to me. Link is in the description. And pile, I want to call you pile number 3, wild. Pile number 1, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Pile number 2. All right, this is which psychic skill should you be focused on? Pile number 2, you are my healer pile, and the psychic skill that you need to be focused on is your healing skills, and specifically your energetic healing skills. Right now over here, you are surrounded by mystical energy. When I was looking at this card, it's the mystic of divine love. Love is divine, and I am nothing except for love. Mystical energy is imbued with potentiality, imbued with the best kind of unconditional love. I know you're saying, like, wow, are there different kinds of unconditional love? But mystical unconditional love, the kind that just, it can melt your heart open, it can blow your heart open. Either way, the way that love comes in is creamy and nourishing and safe and warm and truly divine. You can feel the sparkling, bright golden energy that comes with that. And so your psychic development skills is your ability to actually do energetic healing with other people. If you are just a regular person in life, if you are a medical professional, or you do something that you wouldn't consider is energy healing, I want to invite you to remember something. The presence that you show up with and the work that you do with people is much deeper than what we see on the surface level of being in materiality. This down here just shows me that this green energy is just incredibly healing energy. You have these 2 gorgeous new moons, which tells me that you're another shadow pile. You are back in the nuances, in the subtleties, in the, intention coming into thoughts, coming into emotion, coming into action, right? Like, you are all the way back in creation with manifesting things at the intentional and the subtle energy level. And I love that for you, because when we look out at the world and we say, well, all of this stuff is built, the truth is yeah, it's in material form now, but at one point it was somebody's idea. And before it was their idea, there was an inkling. There was an intention to even have the idea. You, my dear pile number 2s, are so well developed that you are back into the space of intentionality and those inkling ideas, and in that subtle energy. You have an incredible gift with your hands, and you have an incredible gift of clearing energy and transforming energy for other people. We said down here we have this transformational energy. So one of the aspects of this psychic gift that you really need to work with is holding space. I never fully understood holding space until I was like 28-ish, and I had finally a more visceral experience of, that's what it means. We hold space with our hearts, we hold space with our energy. And you, pile number 2, are learning how to hold bigger space and stronger space and just more variety of what's going on in people. The ability to hold space and be a witness and allow transformation to happen for somebody is huge. We do that by sitting with them in presence. We do that by listening to what's going on with them. And we do that by doing the healing work and practices that you have been taught and you have learned how to do. over here we see this King of Swords into unrecognized. So this to me is just another aspect of this transformation. It's like when you sit down with somebody, this could even be a massage therapist, where you're like, Kyra, it's very physical. I am definitely physically helping people. And I would encourage you to remember that you are actually also energetically being present and moving that energy on their body. So we see this is like you sitting and looking like, okay, I have this client, I have this person sitting in front of me. What do they need? What is going on with them? And we can see the heartbreak that's really just kind of baked into this card, where it's cold, it's icy, she's shut in, she's turned inwards, she doesn't feel like she's being acknowledged. So you are able to, and this is the part that the psychic skill you should be focusing on, is honing your skills of listening deeply into people and understanding the root of the issue, understanding the unsaid need that goes behind any presenting complaint, because you are truly gifted. You are truly gifted. You have luck on your side. You have mystical energy around you. You are truly gifted to help people in this way. For example, I do Jinshin as a form of energy healing. I'm learning some acupressure, and I do Sai Shakti healing. All of those different healing modalities, they're not as materially focused, they're not as physically focused as, say, massage, as a lot of things. They are very much sitting in tune with somebody's energy, feeling into the subtleties, understanding the experience of the emotions, and like being able to read what's going on with their body better, and understanding just the holistic view, the accumulation of thoughts, feelings, events, to really help that person navigate healing. And I'm bringing that up because this is you and I could be buddies, right? Come join me over on Patreon if you want to dive more into this and have some one-on-one time where we can talk about this more. I am doing some live Q&As. The first one will be in February. Check that out over there. But pile number 2, regardless if you visit me over there, I want you to really, really focus in being very present with people and allowing their beingness to give you the information. When you move back into this space, I'm bringing this up a lot today because we're all in the shadows together. We are all talking about, the fabric of creation sort of energy kind of people. We're all in good company, by the way. But this energy over here is very much who you are matters more than what you do. And your ability to really focus on, am I creating sacred space when I sit with people? Am I being completely and fully present and allowing that person to be as they are without judgment, without my need to, say, oh, this is this and this is going on with them. Like, let their bodies show you. Let their beingness show you what they need and what is going on. And then you use your talents and you use your personal relationship with the divine, because with this much mystical energy coming through, my friends, you have a lot of talent. You have a lot of talent, and I could tell that this is definitely like life purpose kind of energy. So hone in this, hone in your presence, hone in your ability to sit, hone in your ability. For me, if I do Jinshin, right, I'm putting my hands on people. It's very soft, it's very gentle, but I have to be even more aware, because now I'm not listening just to how the body looks. I'm listening with my energy. Does that make sense? I'm listening with my energy. I'm listening to the soul, their song of their soul. I'm listening to the energy of their body. You listen to the energy of that person in front of you. And that's what makes this so good, so pronounced, so powerful for you, is because you're very good at doing this. All right, pile number 2. Love this for us. I love it. I love all of this. I love the quiet people that get, like, if you get this, you get this. If this does not resonate with you, this is not your pile, my friend. You can choose a different pile or check out a different reading. But this is a really special kind of energy, and I just want to give you a shout out that, like, we need this now more than ever. Please work on it. Please go out there. Please have the courage to step out and share your gifts with the world, because the world is screaming for this kind of love and care and tenderness that you so effortlessly are able to embody and give. All right, pile number 3. If you like this reading, give me a rainbow emoji. Is there a rainbow? There's a rainbow or a star emoji, one of those. And if you want to dive deeper into this with a one-on-one personal reading, I will never reach out to you, but you are always welcome to reach out to me. Link is in the description. And again, Patreon is like the softest launch ever, open-ish. I have started uploading content over there. And in February, I will be doing my first Q&A live, which I'm going to make free. Come join me. Come talk. We could be friends. It could be fun. Let's go on this journey together and do some important healing work in the world. All right, pile number 2. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Pile number 3. Okay, pile number 3. This is so delightful. I am very excited to read for this pile. Pile number 3. Let me tell a little bit about you. First of all, this is my starseed pile. You are you are from the stars down here on Earth, helping with this massive transformation that is taking place across the globe. If you don't resonate being a starseed, then the rest of this message probably won't make much sense to you. So I would encourage you to go pick another pile, pick a different reading. Either way, I love you, and I hope that if this isn't your pile, that you still join me somewhere over on the channel. And if not, I'll see you on the next reading. All right, pile number 3, let's talk about this. You have a galactic mission. You raised your hand, and you were one of the silly people, gooses like me, that decided to come to this planet during incredibly transformational times to do your work. Pile number 3, you are well equipped. You are well equipped. Your very first set of guidance for which psychic skill is literally connecting with the stars. You need to go see stars, you need to meditate, imagine stars, learn about our galactic neighbor. Maybe you're into astronomy, astrology. Whatever you need to do to connect with the space element, do it. Your starseed family, I don't know about the Galactic Federation because I don't know if it's real or not, but the message they keep giving me is your galactic comrades are downloading the information to you, and they are showing you the plans as to how to get through so that you can take action in your life. You're one of those, you're like a swing state. Let me put it that way. I'm in the United States. We, have a whole bunch of states, and then we vote. And some of our states are called swing states because they could go this way, they could go that way. And it makes a big impact on the outcome of things like the presidential votes. So pile number 3, you're that kind of energy. If you choose to listen to and follow the guidance that you feel in the core of your being you came here to do, and that you are receiving really benevolent, yeah, I think it's benevolent messages for how to bring more life and life-affirming action into the world, you are being highly encouraged to do that. In order to do the hard work of your mission, the action part of your mission, you need to really, really get quiet and enjoy connecting with the space, connecting with the stars, connecting with the silence within you. What that is going to do is we are hitting times where you're being called into action. Like, it's like, oh, you got the downloads, you got the plans, like what? Okay, great. So what have you done today now that you've got the blueprint? Did you take the next step? Did you take the next step? So the universe is going to be very much pushing you towards action, and you will feel this because your innate energy, we have warrior here and warrior here. You have a cosmic warrior and you have the Joan of Arc warrior of light. You came down to be a menace in the best possible way. I want to say you came down to fuck shit up in the best possible way. As a gardener, I have killed many plants. I have ripped up little bug homes and I have clipped back plants, and at the same time, everything has been to create a beneficial environment so the plants can grow better, so that the soil is more enriched. That's you. There's a lot of destruction that needs to happen on the planet, but in the United States, and not all of that destruction needs to be these really negative, violent things. A lot of it can be very much about getting this higher wisdom of how systems and processes can work, how we can relate differently to people, and you can go out there and they're telling me advocacy work, right? You can go out there and advocate for people. You can go out there and put up your resistance, put up all your attitude. Like, you are the menace in the best possible sense of having a menace, and we need that right now because you're one of those game changer points in creation. If you choose to wake up in the morning and you choose to say, you know what, today I had this inkling of this idea, I'm going to do the next thing possible for me to move this forward, that is exactly what you should be doing. That would be you fulfilling this whole 10 of Cups, Queen of Cups, because you're like the kind of soul that's already got enlightenment. You took off, and then like planet Earth was like, hey, I'm doing a big thing down here. You want to come? And you were like, yeah, that sounds, I'll volunteer for that. And then, now here we are. But we need this energy. You need to take action. The other two piles were very much like my shadowy piles. We're going back into the ethers of creation. You are like, we need you out there on the front lines. Whatever it is that you are called to do, you need to go do that thing. Why is this a psychic skill? Your psychic skill is to be able to channel the light. Your psychic skill is to be able to hold the energy of light, the energy of creation, the life-affirming energy so freaking strongly. You need to make yourself like a sun that just beams, that completely radiates out life, that completely radiates out this incredible energy, the joy, the brilliance, the being so contently you, right? Like, your presence needs to be felt, and you don't always have to say things or I know I've been talking a lot about action. You don't always have to say things or do things. You need to just show up like the sun every single day in your life for the community and the people around you. And then go back home and recharge by connecting to space. And if you have any possibility of you going out away from light pollution to see the stars, please take it. There is a massive amount of inspiration, of knowledge, of wisdom, of sitting underneath a sky that isn't just black with a couple of stars dotted, but is black and is covered in twinkling lights. You need to feel the expansiveness and how massive the galaxy is. That will be a huge positive trigger to help you understand, to not get in the weeds and the details of being a human on this planet at this time of transformation. You can understand the connection, the massiveness of life, the eternity of everything, how much time and space is out there, which is really freaking cool. I love this. Your next psychic skill is to embody your badass warrior self and to be a freaking menace in the best possible way. Just give them heaven. Just give them heaven. But don't let them have peace. I I love this pile. Leave me a little fox emoji down below if this is you, because I feel like this would be the pile that is pulling some cunning and fun and clever stuff. And then really the rest of it is just you live your life with such contentment and such fulfillment, with such irrational positivity, where it's not, you're not denying the crappy negative stuff. It's like, I see that over there, and you know what? I can double down and hold triple the amount of joy and contentment and happiness, and I can see the vision of something better and brighter, and I'm going to hold that vision so strongly, it will be unshakable. Completely unshakable. And it's important because all of these messages, all of this timing, you're going to be in a time cycle where you're going to be called to be in this presence of your warrior self. Very, like, everything's going to happen very quickly for you. I love this. Pile number 3. Come join me over on Patreon. Let's be change makers. It will be very fun. We've got lots of spiritual stuff we could talk about. Lots of fun spiritual ways, ninja ways that we can be menaces together. I love that. All right, pile number 3. If you like this message, again, leave me a little fox emoji so I know who my little wonderful menaces of the world are. And yeah, if you like this message, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want a personal reading, check out the link in the description. I will never reach out to you, and you are always welcome to reach out to me to get that personal reading, and then join me over on Patreon, because I'm ready. You ready? Let's do some stuff. Let's have some fun. Let's make it really fun. Let's enjoy this process of transformation together. All right, pile number 3. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.